I was thinking, I was just trying not to do that.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's going to be something that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. And plus, well, you've got to see a ball going to the right. Yeah, you've seen a golf ball for the last few months going left and going further left, and then not going up in the air that much. Now, if we look at these changes, your grip itself doesn't look that different from a hand's position. But your arms on these left-hand side, to me, look a little bit more kind of just like lift up and a bit. They look a bit sort of bigger and they look this way as opposed to being down there. Okay, just getting the arms to be a bit softer. This was your backswing before. Okay, inability to sort of hinge in the wrist now, so the bend has to come in this elbow as you get to the top of the backswing. A lot of wrist hinge, a lot of elbow bend. Club face now way to the sky. A lot of collapse here now. Very hard to control that club coming back to the golf ball. We know at this position now, if nothing changes. If we think this green line here represents kind of your target line, your club at this point now is aiming somewhere over there. So you got to do a hell of a lot in basically half a second to try and fix it. Which, when the lie's perfect and the ball's sat nicely and there's no consequence and you're in the same club over and over and over and over again, you're good enough, and a lot of people are good enough to do that. It's when you play golf, we said before, you get 4 hours and playing golf for 2 minutes,
Exactly.
The memory of that previous 7-iron, 6 holes ago, where it went 30 yards left, how did I do that again? And then you're aiming further right, and you're adding lots of compensations, and then if we've got 3 or 4 wrongs making a right, by definition of that sentence, they sometimes can make a right, but it's not consistent, is it? No, so getting your grip a little bit more neutral for you. Again, the hands are slightly back inside of your left. I think on this one, you're sort of just on the edge of your left, but they've moved back a little bit, okay? Not again, but these changes are subtle, you see. Exactly. It feels to you when you stood there, you're like, oh my God, I'm massive. And you look and you're like, hang on, it's not massively changed. Me, right? It's not a massive change. So the practice for you now is going to be getting to there. That looks class. The fact the club face now looks a bit angled up towards the target, your wrist hinge is in a good position there now, that would be enough of a backswing for you to be able to deliver the club back to the ball and get at least 145, 150 carry with a 7-iron, and also then add 10 yards with a 6, add 10 yards with a 5, add 10 yards with a hybrid, and then 15, 20 with your 3-wood, and the ability to hit other clubs, And that's the thing. So, yes, you go... Exactly. It's a massive... Now, this just shows physically you can do that. When there's a ball there, this becomes the biggest thing. So, what we try and encourage people to do is just sort of practice this over and over again. That was a bit of the old one again. You see the club's a little bit... I mean, comparably, it's still better, but not as good as the first one, okay? So if we could do that sort of 4 or 5... I mean, roughly speaking, if we look at the sort of clock on here, so we started the first one pretty much, we'll say 1 second, so you go at 1.5, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, that was a good one, 4, decent one again. So you did 4 there in... 13, 14, say 15 seconds, you could do 4. So over 15 seconds, you can do 4 of them. So over a minute, you can get 16 of them in total. Over 5 minutes, you're going to be getting 70, whatever, plus, So you can do 70 in a 5-minute window, Do that once a day. By week's end, you've got 300-400 movements, That's a lot of movements, isn't it, Without doing a lot, not going to the range. To get 400 movements on a range, that's a lot of golf balls, being it,
exactly.
400 golf balls, And you think a basket of balls is what, 60 or 70 golf balls? To get 400 golf shots hit, that's a lot of baskets. Plus, it costs a lot of money. Plus, you have to be there for hours and hours and hours. So if we can do that at home, just do that backswing to get that feel. Because I mean, muscle memory is basically 10,000 repetitions, as they say. Okay, scientists have proven. Okay, but when you say to someone hit 10,000 golf balls, I'll be there for years. If I said to you, you could do, and that's only under 5 minutes, so you could stand there and go 1, 2, do this repeatedly. You could get, say, 15, 20 done in a minute. Do that for a couple of minutes in the morning, a couple at lunchtime, a couple in the afternoon, whatever you want to do. You'll be surprised within, say, when the season starts kicking off March, April time, this left arm movement, the wrist hinge is going to start becoming more natural. Now, what we generally expect is an in-between what you were practicing, and when the ball gets there, what we do now. The shot was actually pretty good, okay? So... it's it's going to be a little bit long. It's less collapse. It's probably, 5-10% better. The thing is, obviously, if we do 5% better today, 5-10% better tomorrow, the next day and the next day before you. I mean, what's it? Someone's improved 1% every day. Within 6 months, you're genius. Exactly. So it doesn't have to be straight away. And we wouldn't really want it to be. If we said to you, now you can get to this position where we got like the third off. If we got to that position, because it feels quite unfamiliar, you wouldn't know where the ball is. So the shots probably wouldn't be that good. As good as that looks, you're quite a long way in comparison. They're quite different in terms of their movements.
That's over-swinging then.
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah. But only because your arms hinge in there.
Right.
The problem is if people say, "Oh, you got to try and stop over," but keep your left arm straight, you lock your arm out to submission, like you put a splinter, so it's never going to move.
Yeah.
But momentum's going to cause you have to go somewhere. And generally, if you're gripping it tight, your wrist can stay a lot more stable here than your elbow can. This is going to give a lot more than that will give. So if you're gripping it as tight as you probably were, we said 10 being the tightest you could probably grip the golf club, you were probably about 8 or 9 there. You want to get that down to sort of like, I get early stage, you get down like sort of 6 or 7 and try and gradually bring it down sort of under 5 if we can do, okay? We get that. And then obviously when we get the golf ball, now the instincts for you are going to be to sort of hang back a little bit. You kind of got through that one, not bad to be fair. Yeah, you finished in that position compared to this, as we said, when you finished it, you were like, trying to go out to the right, So it will take a little bit of practice. It will take a little bit of time, but hopefully now you've got something you can look at that's relevant to you. I think you weren't wrong in terms of strengthening your grip when you were slicing it. You just went too extreme, too much, and just became too big a hook, and then some of your club in your bag just became unusable, really. So get that more neutral grip. That's your static change. You can work on that in front of the mirror. Say you said there's a mole on top of your left arm. There just lines up with the shaft. So you get your own little checkpoint. Hands aren't quite as far in front. And then the swing thought now is going to be working on hinging that wrist. Get that hinge in the wrist there. When you hinge here, that stays straighter, Okay, mate, makes sense?
Brilliant.
Good, man. Very good.